Hello and welcome to the Fulhamish quick take after Fulham's 2-1 victory over Leicester. Fulham are underway in the Premier League for the 24-25 campaign, and I'm joined here by the River Thames, the beautiful River Thames, by the beautiful Drew Heatley.
Hello, how you doing, mate?
I am good, thank you. Fulham off to a flyer. I mean, it wasn't an extravagant win, but it was a win nonetheless, and that's kind of all that really matters.
At the moment, that's all I care about, but I mean, we made it hard for ourselves, didn't we, unnecessarily so. We had our foot on their necks from minute one to first 20 minutes. I just thought, we could get 4 or 5 here. And then, I don't know why, we just took our foot off the gas, and obviously we were made to pay for it towards the end of the first half. But luckily, I mean, it felt like Iwobi just charged and took the game by the scruff of the neck with that finish deflection. It was sort of a frustration, like, come on, let's get this back on track. And yeah, so it's good that we got the 3 points.
Yeah, I mean, as you say, I thought Fulham were brilliant from minute one, kind of a bit like Spurs were on Monday against Leicester, where they were dominant and making a lot of chances. I actually thought that maybe after 15 minutes, I thought that maybe the moment had gone, but it was a goal from Emile Smith Rowe. I think that's kind of what Smith Rowe is all about, or certainly what Arsenal mates have told me that Emile Smith Rowe is all about. It was a lovely move, and he still has a lot to do, actually. It's a nice kind of little jink past the defender, and he finishes it beautifully. And you can see from his celebration, I thought it meant a lot to him, which is nice. You might think taking a step down for Fulham, it might be like a shrug of the shoulders, whatever, but you could tell there was some feeling in that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always nice when you buy a new T-shirt, you put it on and it fits perfectly, and that's how it felt today. It was that real sort of satisfaction that I felt when I did that, because there was he had a couple of half chances, but before that where I felt he was a little bit sort of off the pace a little bit, and I thought, I might take him a few games to get up to speed, and then obviously he showed that. And when he does things like that, you can see that we've got somebody from the elite level club, and it's quite clear to see. So great for him, and yeah, that emotion was wonderful, because I think he's going to come here. Let's not make any bones about it. He's going to come here, hope to have a few successful seasons, get double figures in assists if he can, and then go somewhere else and go back to one of those elite level clubs where I think he deserves to be. So let's enjoy it. Let's let him take us along for this ride, and off to a flyer, as you say.
Yeah, I mean, as you say, I felt like it wasn't like we took our foot too much off the gas. I mean, the goal that they scored, it's such poor defending, isn't it? It was so easy, just a fairly aimless corner into the box, and Wout Fass, the curly-haired big man, just rose highest. There was a smidge of maybe, is it offside from Jamie Vardy? I don't think it was offside. Don't know, I just thought that's poor from Fulham, and generally we were a bit better than that from set pieces, I think.
Yeah, I think typically we have been, certainly in recent years. And yeah, David Luiz gets the goal, which is a bit of a shame. I didn't see anything wrong. I had to check after the game to see what the actual infringement was, and so it just looked like a straightforward header, to be fair. And as you say, yeah, we're much better than that. My dad's screaming because he wants man-to-man marking on corners, but both teams are doing zonal today, so there you go. Game's gone.
David Luiz. I thought the second half, it was a bit of a bitty game, wasn't it? Fulham were creating chances. I thought Adama was a bit of a threat on the right. I was a bit worried, though, it was never going to come, because Leicester seemed to kind of get back that goal just before half-time and just seemed quite happy, I felt like, just to come away with the draw. And for large periods of the second half, I thought that's kind of what they might do.
Yeah, I thought it was 1-1 written all over it. Adama Traore, fantastic going forward, fantastic latching onto those balls. His passing leaves a little bit to be desired today, but I still think he's an exciting winger. I think both of our wingers are actually really exciting this season. I'm quite happy about it. But yeah, the second half, it did feel like once we'd come back out and we hadn't put our foot on the gas again like we did in those first 20, were we going to let the chance slide? And I think Leicester would have been delighted to come away with a point. Of course they would, 2 points in 2 games. But yeah, super happy that on 70 minutes we sort of finally just got that little bit between our teeth again and settled the day.
Yeah, I mean, what a pass from Anthony Robinson round the corner. It wasn't on a plate, though, for Alex Iwobi. He had a lot to do. He had a lot of distance still to cover to get to the goal. I mean, it doesn't really matter how they go in, as long as they do go in. I mean, it must have taken about 6 ricochets off the keeper, a bit of the post, a bit of the net, but he's done it. And that's a huge goal for us, because I think if we're getting just a point from this game, I think we're starting to get a bit nervy going into the next ones. It's such a relief, and you could feel like the whole team was really just like, and breathe. And sometimes you just need a bit of a scrappy goal. It doesn't always have to be a curler, a ripper from 30 yards.
No, absolutely, and you could see the determination from the hammy end when Iwobi gets the ball and his stride and keeping those touches close, and he did have a lot to do, and obviously he knew where he was going to put it, and there was a few bodies in the way, but obviously good enough to get it through. I mean, I think today, without sounding too harsh on Leicester, we were clearly levels above them, and I think when you could see it in the passages of play and the things that we were coming up with. So if we didn't beat them at home, obviously you can say it's an off day and we're getting started, but then those things are going to start to linger. So August is a super important month, and I said before, our season doesn't really ever start till September, but with early signings, although some of them, only one of them is really playing, to get some points on the board before September, it's a head start, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly, and gives us a little bit of a platform ahead of what's some winnable but matches. Ipswich next, then West Ham and Newcastle. So I'd like to think Fulham can get a win, maybe 2 out of those games, but certainly not gimmies. I don't think there's any team really in the Premier League this season that you'd say is a gimme, a bit like maybe there was last year. I'm just hopeful that, as you say, we've got some wins, but we've got signings to bed in. We saw Anderson and Berger presented to the crowd before the game. I think it's an exciting time. Just like there's real competition for places. I felt like today, like Issa Diop and Sasa Lukic in particular, really had something to play for, and actually both were pretty good considering it's their places that I'd say are most under threat.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Sasa Lukic, because in my player ratings when I was covering for George last week, I said he was like a boiled chicken breast, and I feel like that was probably quite harsh. Was a bit drunk when I wrote it, but today I thought he was really impressive, good in front of the back four and good at the other end as well. So I thought he really put a shift in. I was really pleased about that, because when he does do what we know he can do, he's really good, but sometimes you've struggled to explain what he does. So it was good, one of the good days for him today, and as well with Diop as well. Anderson looming like a dark cloud, and he's actually playing some really, really good stuff for us. And if he can keep that up against Ipswich, because I presume he'll keep his place, then you really, at the international break, you're really thinking he's going to be harsh too if he gets dropped. So, really, real load of positives actually today.
Any concerns? I think for me, and I'm nitpicking here because we won, but I'm maybe saying Andreas Pereira, Rodrigo Muniz as well. He was okay, but not hugely effective. Anything that stood out to you as that's an area to improve, apart from maybe defending from corners?
Yeah, 2 difficult players to comment on, because Pereira, the eye test, I didn't think he was that great again today, but I know that the stats will come out this evening. He made 18 chances, and it's the most that Fulham players ever made. And I'll be like, I don't know anything about football. And Muniz, he got into positions, and I think that's really, really crucial, and why I thought that his purple patch last year indicated that we actually had a player developing on our hands, because he was intelligently in those positions. Finishing wasn't great today, but you've got to be in those positions to miss them. So I'm quietly still confident with Muniz. I think he's really is shaping into a decent striker, but obviously don't try those bicycle kicks in those positions when you could probably take a touch.
Oh, I don't know. I liked the bicycle kick from the corner. That was nice. That could have gone anywhere. He loves doing it so much. He can't resist. It's almost like a strike rate of 1 bicycle kick a game is really impressive.
Yeah. I mean, as a wise man once said, what's the point of living if you can't dream? So fair play, Muniz.
All right, well, that'll do for the quick take today. A nice, I'd say routine win. I don't think that's the fair summation of it, but
football cliches or habits if we call it routine, because I'm not sure it was, but it was nice and it was satisfying, and that's all that matters.
Exactly. Let us know what you thought of the game. Hit the comments, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, hit subscribe. Drew, thank you.
Thank you very much, Sammy.
I think we better go before the old massive black cloud absolutely rains down on us. So thanks for watching. You whites.